In this video, I'm going to talk about the NPV profile. So first of all, what is an NPV profile? As you can see in this Excel spreadsheet, the NPV profile is a graph of a project's NPVs over different discount rates. So again, as you can see here on the horizontal line, or the x-axis, you see a range of different interest rates starting from 0% to an arbitrary number, 22%. Okay, so the NPV profile is going to determine the NPV for each of these interest rates. Okay, so the next question is why we should create an NPV profile. As you remember, our NPV formula is something like this. So NPV equals to our initial investment I0 plus the present value of cash flows. So let's say I have a cash flow at time 1 and cash flow at time 2, and then so forth, and a cash flow at time n. Okay, so here, as you can see, the NPV value is related to or it's sensitive to the interest rate R. So if the interest rate increases, these cash flows are going to decrease, are going to be smaller. So because of that, so we are not discounting our initial investment because it's happening at the time 0. But if all of our future cash flows are positive and we are discounting them, if we use a larger discount rate, these cash flows, the present value of these cash flows will be smaller. So the value of NPV would be smaller as well. So, in summary, changing the discount rate changes the NPV, and it's a good idea to create the NPV profile if you're not very sure about the cost of capital or the appropriate discount rate to calculate the present value of cash flows. Okay, so NPV profile is going to be helpful if you are uncertain about the appropriate discount rate to calculate the present value of cash flows. Let me also quickly talk about how to use Excel spreadsheet to calculate NPV. So in this first part, I put the inputs. Here's are my inputs, and so the very first one is the initial investment, and these four are our cash flows. Okay, so this is the question that we already see in the previous video, and I also have uploaded this Excel file on Blackboard, so you can access it on Blackboard. Then to calculate the NPV, you would write equal NPV and open the parentheses, and the very first input would be the discount rate. So B8 is this. So first I'm going to enter the discount rate, and after that I'm going to enter these four cash flows. So the way that Excel works is that it just recognizes the first cash flow. So if let's say if this is my timeline, you cannot put the initial investment into the NPV formula. You need to only put the cash flows. So this the second input is the after right after the discount rate, we need to start to put our cash flows. So this is what I have done in this Excel file. So I have put these four cash flows, and then at the end, I'm going to add our initial investment because since the initial investment is already a negative number, you just going to add it, or you can put a positive number in a cell and subtract that from after you have write the NPV formula and close the parentheses. Okay. Um, then the last thing I want to mention here is that um, we have an important concept, which is IRR, or the internal rate of return. The internal rate of return is the rate that is the rate at which the NPV of the project is zero. So is a rate that at that rate the present value of benefits is exactly equal to the present value of the cost of doing a project. So IRR is important for us because it shows when the NPV become exactly zero.